true.
I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Oh, let's go. I got to go with what the government tells me because they know the best just ever. They're cool guys. You ever meet them? They'll always tell you exactly where they're going to put you, which is in jail. Anyway, we're going to call it August 7th. It's a Friday, 2026. Guys, if you ever, I guess that I kind of trailed into a little bit there, but why is it that we actually have that problem where we do know that our government will just kill us? I mean, they will push. I mean, if they really want to be right, they will go all the way to death, right? I mean, they don't mind going the distance. Why is that? Why is it that everything goes to death? Is that the only motivator or the only way we can actually create action or cause in somebody is to either threaten them with death or push them to death? Or, I mean, I wonder it's kind of, I'm just curious. Kind of thought of it, I just kind of was trailing in that conversation like, well, yeah, they'll go clear to death to prove their point. But I just was wondering that. I don't know. Just a question. Just something to ask there. Good to see everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Anyway, we're going to continue on. The news of today, the news going on is not it's just the same old stuff, right? But there are some interesting facts that kind of keep coming out about this election integrity stuff, about what we've got going on with the Fauci stuff, what we've got going on. Let me do some of the articles here, or the news of the day, but there's some stuff here now. The Blanchett stuff, Todd Blanchett's going to get moved through the committee and get to the Senate floor, which he'll obviously get confirmed right away. But there are some other things in here that, I don't know, guys. There's stuff about Arizona still going on. There's still stuff going on in Georgia. There's still stuff going on. I mean, there's all these things that are going on. And I'm trying to, make all the stories put into one story because they're all very interconnected. But I don't know. We're gonna have to talk about a few things here. I'm going to dig deep into some stuff. Now, this is one I want to talk about right away. Appeals court panel stacked with Biden-Obama judges stopped the construction. A federal judge appeals court on Friday blocked construction of President Trump's White House ballroom. Now, I don't understand this, and I'm not trying to be trivial. I'm not trying to be. I don't know what good it's doing anymore. There's a lot of times in the battles of different things, you kind of go so far, and then you're like, all right, I'm not going to go any further with this. I'm not going down that road. And this whole thing with pressing to the point of it's going to go to the Supreme Court now because it went to the District Court of D.C., and then what'll happen is it'll have to get pushed around a little bit more and see if the Supreme Court will get involved. But my problem is why are so many judges involved in the goings-on of what our federal government is doing now? Again, I understand the co-equal branches of judicial and all that stuff, administrative, and I get it, legislative. But I just don't know what this is doing. What is this going to do? Do you think that the building that goes on top of the high security facility that was built on the White House grounds, do you think that they're not going to build this ballroom? This is all, these plans, by the way, guys, Trump didn't draw this up on a napkin, okay? This is, I love the trivialness of this. Like it's oh wait, no, Trump is, he's going to do this whole like, oh, he's going to do a White House thing and he's going to take down the only thing that allowed women to be a part of government. The government that they were never part of any government until, there was the East Wing. Well, that's where the First Lady's office is. Guys, if we want to call this Trump's ballroom, sure, let's do that. Let's call it Trump's ballroom. We'll say it's Trump's ballroom. Do you know that it doesn't work that way? I have done a lot of federal contracts in my life. So many that I don't know. There was a lot. We'll say there was more than one. And I have no idea what I'm talking about. I completely make everything up. Everything I say is, just for fun, and I don't know I'm not a doctor. I'm not an architect. I've never worked in construction. Never been a defense contractor. Whatever disclaimer I have to put on everything. But I will tell you that the amount of contracts that I've signed, the multi, $billion, 500 million, 500 million, 500 million, 500 million, all these different things, all these contracts. Guys, these were contracts that were 8 and 10 years old. These were 2 and 3 years old. These were contracts I was having to put together. They had a scope of work. They had a set of plans. I had 3-ream binders of information that what had to go into these buildings. But guys, these are plans that were on the draftsman's desk, on the Corps of Engineers desk. The security system and all the things that are going into this facility that is being attached to the White House, guys. I'm going to tell you, it was not done overnight. The technology and the things that are going into that building are not just, a basement with some computer data lines running through it. It's not like it's we're putting up a shed in the backyard to put the lawnmower in from Rent-A-Shed down the street. We're not buying one of those roll-offs from Home Depot or Lowe's, little roll-off garages. We're not going to put our rakes and our extra fertilizer in it. But I wonder, guys, if we really are this silly. That as I sit here and I'm trying to describe, I'm slowing this conversation down. And I guess for me, I see this already. And I don't say those parts out loud, but maybe I really do need to have certain conversations out loud more, because when I think about how much effort it takes to get done what they're doing. And by the way, if you've noticed, that multi-story underground building is not 12 feet deep. The concrete in those walls, if you actually just watch some of the aerial footage while Trump was walking around, it's not like a little 6-inch basement wall or 8-inch. There was a lot of rebar, a lot of concrete going into that facility. But my point of it is, guys, is that when this like, oh, we're stopping Trump, oh, we're doing it, oh, we're going to do this whole thing, there is not one stoppage happening whatsoever. The high security facility that's going in underneath whatever that is going to end up being, the ballroom or Trump's ballroom or the room that stores Trump's balls, I don't know, whatever it is. This is really kind of crazy. Hey, Linda, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Thank you so much for being here. Terrence Williams is here as well. Terrence, I hope the job is going well for you. So Judge Patricia Millett and Bradley Garcia wrote the majority opinion. Whether or not a massive ballroom should be constructed is for Congress to decide, and it's not a matter of executive self-help. Do you know what Trump does? He takes the opportunity to take credit for things that nobody else is taking credit for. And I'm letting you know right now, guys, this was something that was going to be, put into place and was already part of the goings on. It just happened to be going in under his watch, and he took credit for it. And then you guys all fell for it. I mean, guys, this is where this is where I really we have to be careful, even as the ones that seem to be still like Trump or still think Trump's doing okay, that we don't fall for even what Trump is doing, and the idea that a lot of this, he's just like, oh, that's going to be my room. Oh, I want it my way. Oh. Now, granted, he knows how to get plans revised and how to get those things put in the way he wants to do it. But again, guys, this is not. I just think sometimes we run right headlong into the traps of what he's doing, which is just stirring up things, stirring up the other side, and we get involved. Like, we don't need to get involved. He's already got them all stirred up. We just sit there and watch them get mad while he laughs. You don't get in a fight. You don't get in the middle of a fight when your buddy's beating everybody's ass, do you? And your buddy's beating up a group of 12 dudes, and he's just doing it by himself, and he's just over there like one-handing it like he's Neo in the Matrix. You're going to get involved? No, you're going to let him do his job. Go for it. Now, hey, if I see some things starting to, get a little bit out of whack there, okay, well, maybe I need to jump in. But see, that's again where what Trump has already beaten their ass. They're already all freaking out. Just let them crap their own pants. Congress has not seceded unfettered authority to the executive branch to dramatically redesign, reshape, and reconstruct the White House, the People's House. By the way, guys, listen, this People's House label, do you know that is communism? We really need to stop using communism words and types of socialism words to describe our everyday life, like saying we're a democracy. We're not a democracy. That is socialism, guys. Stop letting that word be used as some type of republic. We're not a democracy. We are a republic. And it's not the People's House. That's a labor title. That is a communist title. Don't let that happen. The appeals court stayed its ruling for 14 days to give the Trump administration time to appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court. The federal judge earlier this year limited the construction of Trump's privately funded White House ballroom. And see, God, this is where, do you know that you can go down and donate money to the city or donate a building to the city and they'll gladly put your name on it? So if I wanted to put a $20 million annex on the side of the Sedgwick County courthouse down here, they would call it the Jim Price Annex, Sedgwick, Jim Price Court Complex. They would call it the Price, what tower. If I put the money up for it, that's what they do. That's why universities do it. You don't think cities don't do that? That's how a lot of that works, guys. It's not about really honoring you. It's about what you paid to get it done. So you put money in the right coffer, and then all of a sudden you got a building. Ta-da! Coffer is just a bucket where you put money. Where that bucket or who that bucket belongs to, I don't know where it goes, and I don't know who it belongs to, but I put it in there, and now my name's on the building. It's kind of crazy, guys. It's not that hard. Money does buy privilege. 150 years, presidents, administrations, White House staffs have longed for a larger event space at the White House complex that can hold substantially more guests than currently allowed. And by the way, guys, seriously, we're whatever the superpower of the world, and we're putting up plastic tents to have people hang out on the back lawn. Why is that okay for everybody? And by the way, D.C. does not have that great of weather. I mean, it's really either just stupid cold or stupid humid. It's not really in between. So he wants to put a room on the end of the building? I don't know. Have you seen that we spent $4 billion? By the way, guys, wait. By the way, guys, I went by the Treasury building. Okay? Listen to me. I went by the Treasury building. The Treasury building, I do not think is as big as the White House. Am I getting this wrong? Let me look up this stuff real quick. Hold on. Let me look, or not the Treasury, but the Fed Reserve. Show me the U.S. Fed Reserve. So U.S. Federal Reserve. U.S. Federal Reserve. Wow. Gonna make me spell it all the way out here. DC. Wow, it won't give me. So, okay. So, let's do this. Well, anyway, I for some reason I must be off, but when I was looking at the building, that I do believe, this is why I was going back to look here to make sure I wasn't speaking out of turn, which, it's very possible, guys. There's a lot of things that I was driving or not driving around, walking around. No, Federal Reserve, yeah, board. This is it. This is the Federal Reserve. Yeah, the Federal Reserve Board Research Library. So this is the library. Federal Reserve, Washington, D.C. Let me see here. Now, the reason I'm saying this, and the reason I'm kind of doing this little bit of a researcher here, this whole thing like this right now, is the reason I'm doing this is because, remember Trump said that they were spending $4.5 billion or something like that on the Federal Reserve, and we're all like, oh my God, I can't believe how expensive it is. There are 2 buildings been under construction for years. Yeah, Terrence, that's what I was talking about. Is I'm just trying to paste and search. There we go. And so that building is this is the Federal Reserve Credit Union. No, this is the building. Yeah, this is the building, guys. This is the building. Yeah, this is it. Okay, this is it. So, okay, yeah, no. So it's an H-looking building, okay? It's got like a little 2 buildings with a courtyard, and there's like a center building, and then the buildings go out the back, and there's a courtyard. Anyway, no, guys, what I'm telling you is if you saw the size of this building and you looked at the size of the White House, I'm going with, yeah, the White House may be a little, not really. If you're doing, I'm telling you right now, there ain't $4.5 billion if you were laying gold bricks to build that building with, guys. This is the point I'm making. When Trump went around and that said, by the way, what are you guys spending all that? What's $4.5 billion or $7 billion? There's a lot of billions rolling around, right? And so the point of it is I'm like, okay, why is it okay that that's happening? It's like, okay, this got to be a big building, right? There's going to be it's just this huge monument of things. It's not. It's a little building. I'm telling you right now, guys, I was looking at what they were doing, and I was looking at they were putting marble panels on the outsides of this, and they were like lick and stick. Those like in the shower surrounds they're doing now with the full panel shower surround with a little tile pan, the tub or the shower pan thing. They're doing shower pan, 3 panels out in one day thing. Well, that's the kind of, like, they're putting those panels up, but they're not book matching them. Where they cut them and then they open them like this, and you can see that they were sister to each other. They're not being creative. They're not being very decorative about it. I'm looking at the building going, how could you spend that much at all on that? And again, I don't know why we're building a new FBI building down in Huntsville, Alabama at the tune of $100 billion or $80 billion. Did you guys know about that? This is something I talked about 3 or 4 years ago, and it's actually what was celebrated, supposedly, that it's great news that we're going down, moving the FBI down to Huntsville, Alabama. And everybody's like, oh, yeah, Kash Patel's going to shut down the headquarters in the FBI. And he's like, yeah, it's a horrible mess here. Guys, they've already been building part of the $9 trillion, I think it was spent in 2023. There was 2 or 3 different bills that year of spending that we put into. One of those is like $100 billion for a new FBI headquarters down in Huntsville, Alabama, and then abandoning the FBI headquarters in D.C. I don't know what we need that for. I don't know why we need it. Hey, Philly Martin, what's up, man? Good to see you. Thank you so much for the message. I got your message the other day. Thank you, sir. So anyway, so these are the judges. They're talking about this. The White House is one of the most beautiful and historic buildings in the world. Okay, by the way, so like I was going back to the Federal Reserve, they're spending billions of dollars on this. The White House, they're getting a little upgrade. And by the way, the offices and everything that they were talking about were like little 12 by 12 rooms. Like this was not executive size offices. So when they talk about like where the the wives, the president's wife had a office down there, don't believe all that bullshit, guys. Come on. And this is nicotine gum. I use it inadvertently kind of throughout the show sometimes if I feel like I got a little tickle in the throat. So, anyway. The White House is currently unable to host major functions, which, okay, we all know that. And so, moving on, in June, the Senate voted on a proposal to block the construction on President Trump's 90,000 square foot ballroom. The proposal was voted 60 votes, needed 60 votes, 52 to 47. However, 6 Republican senators voted with the Democrats to block the construction. So here's the thing. Congress didn't stop him, okay? They didn't get together enough votes, and it wasn't important enough for them to stop him, right? But a judge can stop him. Now, the Congress voted to stop him, and they voted not to stop him. And they've done it in the House, and they've done it in the Senate, and they've done it in the House, and they've done it in the Senate, and they've done it in the House, and they've done it in the Senate. They've had all these little, like the War Powers Resolution. They've done all these things, right? And so here's the problem is that the judges now are going, well, no. We'll do what you guys are trying to do because we know it's so hard for you guys. And, we know this is what you really wanted. So as a judge, we're going to go ahead and do that for you. Legislators, we got it. We got you, bro. High five. Right? I mean, that's what judges are for, right? They just get to interpret the law and do what they want to do. It's not a problem, right? So, Trump gave a Truth Social. He says the 2 Obama and Biden appellate court judges just voted against the desperately needed military center required for the national security of Washington, D.C., and our country itself. Highly respected Judge Naomi Rao stated the following key points, among others, in a strongly worded dissent. This was a blatant abuse of discretion. Again, like I just said, so the dissenting, meaning the woman that said, no, listen, just let him do his thing. Again, we hear dissent, and we don't always put these things in the right columns, right? To begin with, the district court has no jurisdiction because the trust has no standing to stop construction at the White House. See, this again is where people just assert authority and then people give it over to them. They give into it when they don't have to. They give over authority when there's no authority for that person to own. We do this a lot in our society, and I don't know why. It's very common, and I don't like that it happens. All right, so the decision has been stayed and does not take effect for a period of time. We will be immediately appealing to the United States Supreme Court. The military and Secret Service are viewing this horrendous, politically motivated, and unlawful ruling as a national security threat to our nation, in that the entire complex is being built for the protection of our country and additional all future presidents. The single integrated project includes bomb shelters, same thing I just told you, state-of-the-art hospital, medical facilities, protective partitioning, top secret military facilities, structures, and equipment, protective missile-resistant steel, columns, roofs, beams, drone-proof ceilings, roofs, military-grade venting, ballistic, and blast-proof glass. This is all the stuff guys, this is what I did. Okay, what you're hearing and why, to me, I'm just like, this is so stupid, because I know that everything that they've built into this building is the stuff that I designed for my guys. All the buildings I built was the exact same thing. All these threats, I know exactly what they're doing. That's the difference, guys, is like when they're talking about like, oh, we're just, you can't just do that. Well, first of all, the building's already gone. The house that, the people's house was a wing that was put on in the 50s. And I guess there was some construction issues or something. It wasn't actually supposed to be for the first lady. It wasn't supposed to be for any of that. I think it was like supposed to be for like staff or like the press or something. It wasn't actually supposed to be a thing. But then somehow one of the wives got down there, and one of the wives' secretaries. Anyway, it kind of happened. It meandered into that. But the problem is to say that to stop it, well, no, you can't stop something that's already been torn down. It's already all gone. It's not there anymore. So what are you preserving? What are you stopping? Okay, just stop it. Just leave this great big hole construction site. Just leave it in the ground there. Just leave it hanging out. We're not going to deal with it. Just stop it at whatever cost because we just want you to stop. So now what? Are you going to pay to encapsulate it? Are you going to cap it off? What are you going to, you can finish it? Are you going to finish it your way or their way? Or do you want it to be your design so then you'll approve it? I mean, what's the point of it? Do you see how this is just, there's no end to this where it really goes? You want me to say stop. Okay, we've said stop for you. Now what? Well, that's all I wanted. I just wanted to stop. Stop. Okay, now it's stopped. Now what? You see where I'm going with that? This is a problem where our society thinks it's okay to just yell stop, but then there's no reason. What now? Okay, it's stopped. What do we do? What's in the void? Now that you've not made this not happen, what are you going to fill it with? See, that's the problem. So many people know how to judge others, know how to poke at others, but really, what is your response and what's your answer to take that space that you're saying don't fill? Don't do this, Mr. Trump. Don't do this, Mr. Rubio. Don't do this, Mr. Hexeth. Okay, well, what do you put in that place? Unless you have a remedy for what you're saying stop for, don't say stop. If you don't have a remedy for what you're criticizing, if you don't have a good fix and showing them how you're going to make it so much better, then keep your pie hole shut. This is the problem for me. This is where I go around and around for myself. So, and again, this is, like I said, the protective missile resistant steel, columns, roof, beams, drone-proof ceilings, roofs. This is Trump's response to this, okay? Military-grade venting and ballistic blast-proof. You've heard me talk about this stuff in my designs, what I've talked about. Bulletproof, blast-proofing, shelter-in-place. That's what we're talking about here. It's all tied together as one big, expensive, and very complex unit, which is vital for national security and military operations of the United States of America. The Circuit Court's decision. Now, by the way, why that happens that way is because Trump, when it comes to threats, when it comes to the security of America, he has to be there making those decisions. So he has to have a situation room or a place where he can go to do those things and also be secure if there is a threat. Why are we playing so silly? Why are we playing so loose and fast with everybody's life? We wouldn't do this, we don't do this, but why do we do this? Because it's headlines. It's fun, it's exciting, it's sexy, it's a little. So, the Circuit Court's decision, which is totally wrong on the vital subject of standing, on which the plaintiff has none. See, that's another thing. These judges will say, "Oh no, they're standing," and so they won't say that they're right. This is another lawyerese bull that I just really get tired for, and it's just exhausting. And so when they do this, they'll say, "Oh, the case that the plaintiff has standing." Well, no, is he right? What does he have right? What is it he's saying is right? But when they say standing, it's kind of like, well, there's precedents. Well, wait, what precedents? Well, someone else had something very similar, and so they said it this way, so I'm going to say it that way too. It has standing. They aren't making a judgment. And this is where I hate this lawyerese. They will never come out and really try to convict you. They always try to kind of make it sound like, well, you're the guilty one. I'm just observing your guilt. I'm not saying you're guilty. I'm just observing. It's just my job. I have to say that you're guilty. It's my job. It's not me. It's my job. The semantics is amazing. Absolutely amazing. including all the future presidents of the United States and their families, as well as the lives of those visiting, such as the heads of states and other dignitaries, and all the Americans who wish to visit the historical, beautiful executive mansion. The circuit court also refused to acknowledge that the desperately needed and totally secure ballroom, which is being built ahead of schedule and under budget, is a gift from President Trump and the great patriots of the United States of America. There will be no expense to the American taxpayer. Now, guys, this is where a lot of the authority of things kind of go away. And when I just talked about, like, if you want to have a ballroom, or you want to have a library named after you, all you got to do is walk up with a check, and they'll magically build a library with your name on it. They'll magically put a school up with your name on it. They'll magically put up a museum with your name on it. They'll magically put a bridge up with your name on it. Whatever it is, you start throwing money around, you'll get your name on shit. And this whole thing about, I know what they've built. I know what they're doing. I know what the design is because I designed those things. That's my job. That's what I do. That's what I did. And yet here it is. These guys are over here. Oh, you need to stop that. You don't even know what you're doing. You're just you're not even a builder. So, like I said, anyway, I'm just hearing these things go around and around, and it's like breathtaking to watch it happen. Terrence Williams, over 1,000 miles of tunnels under Washington cleaned up. Well, that's true. Now, remember, they also did a whole new helipad outside of the White House. I don't know if you guys realize that the new helicopter that Trump received this year actually took the grass off of the whichever lawn that they land on for the helicopter. So anyway, that helipad has been put in. But remember, there was a lot of underground construction done during Trump's first presidency. Remember, they had that whole front area all taken up, and they were talking about how that was the area where there was tunnels and all kinds of other things that were in there. Now, guys, I did not see the final disposition of that. I have no idea what it really looks like under there, but there was a lot of construction going on there. If you remember that in the very first term of Trump, remember they had that all the way up to that balcony. They had that whole area torn up underneath there. So, again, when we talk about construction and things like that and the different things that are added on or whatever, it's a Trump issue. Oh, I see what you're talking about there. Let's get that to stop doing that. I don't know why the camera keeps fading in and out like that. Boy, Facebook really is blurring my videos out, aren't they? I'm sitting here watching my feed right now on Facebook, and it's all just, it's like it's an old-time movie or something. It's all grainy and looks like hell. That's nice. Thanks, Facebook. You guys are the best. You would never lie to me. How very disappointing. Is Courtney Allen here? Good to see you, Courtney. I haven't seen your comments yet. What's up with that, Courtney? Courtney. All right. Well, it is 35 after. Anyway, I just keep going back to how that, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that's happening, but what are we fighting for? I think there's a lot of things that this Fauci thing has taken away a lot of fences that people used to climb on and get, yell at each other over. You are this, or you are that, or this is your that, or you're killing grandma. All that good stuff. And so I just look at these things. I'm just trying to have this conversation with you guys. I'm wondering if what they were able to amplify so effectively back in 2016 with the BLM and all that, and now the USAID money's drying up. Now all the other stuff is drying up. Now they're going to still have some millions to throw around. But the DNC, the Democrat National Committee, is what, 15 million in the hole right now? And they're borrowing money against their assets. Now that does not sound like a good business plan. But why is it that they only have money when they're in power? Do you see what I'm saying when I say that? That why is it that the Democrats Why is it now that they're out of power, they seem to have less money? When USAID went in there and they started turning off all these fictitious Social Security numbers and all these fictitious, recipients of disability checks, and they started turning off all these different NGOs to different places around the world where nobody knew where the check was really going, just to some other country. We turned all that money off, and all of a sudden now, within less than a year of that, the DNC is almost bankrupt. This time during Trump's first term, the DNC had like $150 million in the bank, if I remember right. Well, now when it takes $1 billion to run a presidential campaign, right, Kamala? $1.5 billion. I just wonder, guys, if we're going to get to the bottom of this, and I hope we do. I think there's going to be some things happening. But when we do talk about it, let's talk about it openly. Let's be honest about it. Let's not be mad at each other. Let's not try to find ways to get caught up in another race war, because I think the hangover's over. Fauci is a pawn. Oh, absolutely. Things are just Courtney watching it. Brenda called out, Courtney's just watching us. Anyway. Now, okay, listen. You're right in that statement when you said that. Philip said Fauci's a pawn. Let me roll on to that subject for just a second while I'm thinking about it. The whole idea that Fauci's a pawn is the sad part, is that Fauci knows it but doesn't know it. He knows that he's a part of the plan, but he doesn't really realize that he was thrown out there to make a full ass of himself. They're not protecting him. I mean, there is a little bit of the circle the wagons, like, oh, Fauci's the science, trust the science. They're trying to echo that back a little bit. But I don't think it's going as far as he needs it to, and I think they have left him out to the wolves. Now, here's what I may say that they may have screwed up, is that they didn't let Fauci talk on this one, where he kind of could have fumbled around and made some shit up and kind of led him in the wrong direction, and like, whatever, however he talks. On the advice of counsel, I played the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution of the United States. Anyway, I'm wondering, though, if in this humiliation that he had, which is humiliating, no matter what age you're at, that he still felt humiliated. He still probably had diarrhea and stayed up at night and had stomach aches and his mind was spinning, and I'm sure there was some physical responses to it. I really do. He's still a human being, I hope. But the sad part of it is this guy is going to get filleted. This is not going to stop. And I think that we're going to end up having, we're going to name some names. We're going to have more people coming out, and more things are going to be said, and more truth will be had. And I just wonder, guys, if we are... I wonder if we're just a little too far ahead of the story in some of our narrative and what we know. But I do think Fauci's going to get... I wonder if he's going to flip on the whole thing, that he'll do the ego thing and then get super pissed off and go, fine, I'll tell you. It was him. It was, Mr. Wilson that was, the owner of the amusement park that was trying to shut it down, and so he could get the insurance money. Remember all those Scooby-Doo? I wonder if it will be like a Scooby-Doo effect, right? Where will we pull off some of the masks? Will we actually get to the truth? I don't know. We can only hope, right? Courtney, girl, I'm watching. Organizing my new tea counter with John bought me. Prepping some sourdough bread. Let's fight. Ooh, wow, the girls are at it. That's funny. Hey, Linda, good to see you. And Dave's here. That's good. So anyway, I just be mindful that I think this is the time where we do need to continue pointing out what we see as the fallacies. We continue pointing out the fraud. We keep pointing out those things and keep pushing, because now that we've got some momentum, it will get a little easier for us to keep things rolling. But I wonder when the bottom of society is going to hit. I was hoping that Listen, guys. I've been on a longer trajectory of understanding the political flows of society, and I was hoping that the bottom of society was during Uncle Barry's time. I was hoping that Uncle Barry was the bottom, like we hit there and we were going to bounce and start going back up. But if you can see that we are a decade or so later and we're not bouncing, we're still kind of on the bottom here. So hopefully we're going to get to the point where we're going to start to do the lift off and start going into a better society. And I don't know when that's going to happen. I hope that I'm still around to watch that societal growth. I do believe it's part of what we get to see in our lifetime because of these cyclical things, but we have to stick around for it and be ready and be the right people so that we can be around for those things. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be about it for me. I'm going to call it an early Friday. I told today's show, call it Take It Easy. And so I think I'm going to take a little bit of even of my own advice. But, guys, look around you. Look at the things that are going on. There are positive things happening. A lot of cases are happening across this country. A lot of victories about elections. A lot of people are out there crying bloody rivers about, oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. Well, they're telling on themselves, guys. I don't know. I wasn't a part of that. We didn't say you were. Why did you say you weren't? And that's where you find out the truth is in the middle of all those things. Oh, no one in history has ever isolated a virus. Now, Phil, we are not scientists here on the Jim Price Show, but I will say you're very accurate, Phil. We have no idea what we're talking about. We're not a doctor. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. But this is the world we live in, and it's got a lot of crazy people out there wanting to they want to be popular. Still, the best slice of a human being and seeing that innocence of the heart going, I just want to be popular. I want Angelina Jolie. I want Julia Roberts to be amazed at how beautiful I am. Oh, to have her say I'm pretty. You know, Mr. Troll himself, this guy looks like he's got the hook nose. He's got the crappy hair. He's not very big a man. You know, his name is Fauci. I mean, geez. I don't know if that was a great name growing up, but anyway. But the point of it is, guys, is this guy is a segment of us, and we know that. There's a little bit of our innocence in there. We see that. And how will we handle ourselves when the limelight comes shining on us? I don't know. By the way, limelight was actually referring to the lime that was actually being burnt in candles or in little captures, little seashells where the light was reflected back up onto the stage, getting in the limelight. To be in the limelight means to be on stage. Anyway, I think I may have screwed up the limelight description on the light itself, but look it up. It actually has to do with the early stages where lime and having limelight means you were being on stage. All right, guys. What a world we live in that we can talk about these things this way and understand that this is a real benefit to have this privilege, right? To be able to have, I can't do this in China. I can't do this in North Korea. I don't even know if I could have this show in Japan. And that's why a lot of times, guys, if I'm in certain countries, I do get very surprised because I'm very limited. There's not a lot of countries that want something like me or even Facebook in their country. They get versions of Facebook that we don't get that are far more restrictive. Now, we do believe that we are restricted. We do believe we're spied on. We believe that because it's true. We know we're being spied on. We know they're taking our information. And why? Because they like my pretty face? Oh, we got to have all Jimmy's pictures because, I just love to have his information where he had a cheeseburger today. Yay. Whatever. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be about it for me. Remember the 10% we do for our neighbor, community, city, county, state, the federal government. The more they do for them, the less they have to do for you. Learn how to be selfless and not so damn selfish. It'll be a far, far better place. Remember, hold the line, hold fast, do not give up, do not give in. We'll win. I promise. I make a promise I can't keep, guys. You've always been the answer out there. Remember that Constitution that limits the government? Well, that never limits you, but it does limit the government. Understand your authority. Keep your authority to yourself. Do not give it over to the government. It does not belong to them. Be better than those things. And quit running to judges for your answer to all the questions of your life. I do not understand that. I gotta go see a judge. Judges are my friend. Are they? Really? Really? All right, guys. Good seeing you guys out there. Philip, Brenda, Dave Salee. We had Linda was in there. Courtney Allen. Terrence Williams was in there. Who else do we have? A few others. Good to see you guys out there. Thank you so much for all that you guys do. Remember, go to thejimpriceshow.com and donate to the show as often as possible. I'm going to get out of here. I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. You guys will be good to each other out there, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye-bye.